up? What's going on? We're gonna be real brief in here today. Today's video, what we're gonna be covering really is simple. How do you use the telephone to be able to sell more cars by prospecting and setting solid appointments? Now, knowing when I start these live videos, especially on YouTube, you know, it sends it out, lets everybody know we on here. So I like to give it a second or two to let people jump on in. And do me this favor, as you're coming in, make sure that we hitting that like button, all right? And I'm gonna share something right here, right now, just so everybody knows, because by popular demand, okay, because we're gonna get into it. And like I said, as we coming in, make sure we hitting that like button, but we're gonna be discussing how to sell more cars by using the phone to set more appointments. I get a lot of people that send me messages and say, you know, they're real good with dealing with that person in the dealership, they're sitting down, building rapport. But when it comes time to jump on that phone, there's an issue. What's up, Dejark K32? What's happening? How you doing? All right, so we're gonna be talking about that. Now, one thing that I'm about to share right here is that I get a lot of messages from people that have been following me for years. They're aware there's a program. It's called the Automotive Sales Training Program, and it's available online, and it's been available for $997. And then I had created a discount a while back to give people an opportunity to be able to enjoy it. And I got a message from a lady, single mother, her name was Sharon, and she said, Brian, I really want to get involved in the programs. I watch all your stuff and I know it works, but I'm new in automotive sales, and she just didn't have the resources to be able to invest $997 at that time, or even a couple $100. So at the beginning of this video, let me make it known before we even get into the topic. I'm going to let it be known right now. That product, that program that has the automotive sales training, over 3.5 hours of audio and video, the how to drive Facebook leads, which has over 4 hours of how to set up your Facebook, how to drive leads to it, how to set your ads up, the 100 success tips, which is 10 videos, which the online traffic search, how to use Instagram, Snapchat. The entire program, including the live coaching session with me, due to this single mother who sent me a message and said she didn't have $1,000 to invest. So she didn't have the couple $100 to invest in it. She asked me, was there anything I could do? And I did it. For the next 48 hours, there's a link that for the next 48 hours, that $1,000 program is available to you for $65. And so there's a link that I'm getting ready to post right now, and then we're going to topic. So for the next 48 hours, that program with all the sales training videos, the sales training manual, the live coaching sessions every week with me on Monday nights at 7:30, that $1,000 program is available for $65 until midnight on August the 2nd. So I'm putting that in here right now so I can make the link available, the ultimate, and then we're going to get into it, how to use that phone. Automotive, I'm just typing this in, y'all. Sales training downloads, and make sure you share your name and hit that like button as you're coming in, so I know who you are. You want to get to 15 or more a month? Well, here it is right now, brother. I shared a story about a lady named Desiree Diaz, who was at the week before last, downloaded the program, literally sold 10 cars in 1 week. I got him last night, and all these people are verifiable. A gentleman named Oz DeGrew. He works in Jacksonville at a Coggin store, sold 18.5 this month. He was one of the guys that I worked with and trained, thanked me tremendously. He too downloaded the program. So take advantage of it. I'm going to put the link right here, and boom, it's out there. So right now, the program that you've seen online for $997, the courses that I've made available, even when I discounted it for a couple hundred, for the next 4, imagine what your family will say if you say, look, I invested $65 in some information that I own, that I have for the rest of my life, it'll help me out. All right, so let's get into it. How do you sell more cars? By prospecting and setting appointments. Hey, Pete, what's going on, man? I got your message. Pete's Automotive Solutions, my man. So one of the biggest mistakes that people make is that when they make the phone call to a customer, number one, the mentality is not there. Let's face it, I've been in those shoes. You know what it's like. The dealership wants you to get those dials up, and you've been making those phone calls, and you're hoping that the voicemail picks up. You're hoping that nobody actually answers. And then, because then you can get through your dials, you're done, you go out there on the floor. Or heaven forbid somebody does answer, and it's like, oh my God, what do I say? Somebody actually answered the phone. I know I used to hope and pray for a voicemail. Now, here's a mistake that a lot of salespeople make. And these tips that I'm giving you have helped salespeople make thousands more dollars just by learning how to give good phone. So when we call, people typically say, hey, I speak to John. Hey, John, this is Brian from ABC Dealership. Mistake number one. Mistake number one is that we call and we immediately say what dealership we're calling from, which means the next time they see that number on the caller ID, they'll never answer it. Think about yourself. One, how often do you answer numbers that you don't know? Many times people don't do that to avoid bill collectors. And if you in here, y'all, hit the like button and share with me who you are. I just posted a link. Somebody asked me, what could I do to help people out that are struggling financially, that may be single parents, that are in automotive sales, that are struggling, they're not making big money. They don't have $1,000 to go out and invest in my program at the normal price. And this single mother begged me and asked me, was there something I could do? And I said, hey, listen, I'll do something that nobody can say there's never been an opportunity for them. The $1,000 program with all the audios, the videos, the live coaching with me every week, Monday at 7:30 is available right now for only $65 up until August the 2nd at midnight. The link is right here in the chat log. Make sure, and it's in the description. Click that link, go over there and get started. As soon as you do, you'll get instant access to your programs, to download them, implement them immediately like the hundreds of people are right now, y'all. Over the last week, we've had over 77 people that have downloaded the program, and several have sent messages saying they implemented what they read in the first part of the training manual, not even the videos, and it helped them close a deal. So jump onto it, all right? But hit that like button. So we make the phone call, and we say, hey, we're with ABC Dealership. Now they know the number and they know the name. Guess what? They're never going to answer again. So one of the very first things you want to do when you make a phone call to somebody, people love to give help. And you also want to confirm you're talking to the right person. So a good word track is ring, ring. Hey, may I speak to John? This is John. Hey, John, this is Brian. John, I'm looking for a little bit of help. Some information just came across my desk that John Williams is looking for information on a 2019 Toyota Camry. Is this the right John? Now, what we're doing, we're confirming A, that we're speaking to the right person. B, we're letting them know why we're calling. Some information just came across my desk that John Williams was looking for some information on a 2019 Toyota Camry. Is this the right John? Now, once they say yes, boom, we got them confirmed. Well, John, my name is Brian, and the only reason I'm calling is to make sure that any questions that you may have get answered, and any information that you're looking for, I'll be able to provide that to you. So, John, what questions do you have for me? So as you see, this method of calling with a prospecting word track like this, it makes the call all about them rather than all about us trying to call and sell. First thing we did, we called and we asked we only used the first name, because think about it. How many people call a friend and use the first and the last name? That's an immediate indicator that you have no idea who this person is. So you call, ring, ring. Hey, may I speak to John? This John, this is Brian. John, I'm looking for a little bit of help. Some information just came across my desk that John Williams is looking for some info on a 2019 Toyota Camry. I just want to make sure I'm talking to the right John Williams. Is that you? Yes, it is. Awesome. Okay, John, well, I was letting you know. Again, I'm Brian. And the only reason I'm calling is to make sure any questions that you have get answered, and any extra information that you're looking for, I can get that for you. So, John, what questions or information would you like me to help you with? Make sure y'all hit that like button. Now, if you think about it, everything about the initial part of that call is all about what I can do for you, John. And the reason for my call is because some information came across my desk. Number one, when we calling up, we're a stranger to these people. So we want to make sure, A, that we're talking to the right person. The second thing, we introduced ourselves without first and last name, but hey, this is Brian, and I'm looking for a little bit of help. The reason why I'm saying you're looking for help is so critical, because human beings, it is ingrained in us that we want to help our fellow brother, our fellow sister, any opportunity that we get, okay? And whenever we ask somebody for help, as long as it doesn't risk them any physical harm, any danger, their life isn't at risk or at stake, they're more than willing to help you. And think about how it reverses your typical sales call. The average salesperson calls, says, hey, I speak to John Mathis. They pick up, and then they just go into this drawn out sales pitch. What's up, 8B Fleet? I hope you got your stuff, man. They go into this sales pitch, and the customer's sitting there saying, oh my God, you know, what's going on? Yada, yada, yada. Okay. And they have no idea. So you want to first off call and ask me to John. Hey, this is John. John, my name is Brian. And John, I'm looking for a little bit of help. Okay. Some information just came across my desk that John Williams is looking for info for a 2019 Toyota Camry. Am I speaking to the right John? Yes, this is he. Awesome. Well, John, I just want to know, what questions or information can I help you with? This, that, and the other. Now you want to go through your typical standardized asking questions and whatnot and getting that information from them. Okay. And once you start getting that information, you want to let them know, well, listen, hey, John, if you're like most people that come in, they at least want to put their eyes on it and put their hands on it and kind of get a feel for it. So, what's the best day and time for you to come in? I have an available time this afternoon at 2 or one tomorrow morning at 11. Which one of those work best for you? Okay. So as you see, you call in, you want to ask and confirm you got the right person. Secondly, you want to let them know the reason for your call is because information just came across your desk. Thirdly, what you want to do is make sure, is there any questions or information that they're looking for? And then lastly, make sure if you got those questions, hey, listen, based on the information you gave me, I believe we got exactly what you're looking for. Now, most people, they want to put their eyes on it and get their hands on it and touch it if possible. So I have an available time this afternoon at 2 or one tomorrow morning at 11. Which one of those work best for you? Now, the reason why you want to give them the time options is because you're busy. The mistake that people make is the person say, well, yeah, I'll come in tomorrow. They say, awesome, morning, afternoon time. They don't know what time, they don't know when, and they never did this one thing, which is solidly confirming up the appointment. Once they've established the time, if you give them, you say, hey, I got one tomorrow to this afternoon at 2, one tomorrow at 11, which one works best for you? If neither one of those work best, guess what they'll do? They'll make a suggestion, okay? And when they make the suggestion of the time, make sure you check your availability. You know what? Looks like I'll be available. We'll lock it in. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road. You want to make sure that you confirm that appointment. You confirm it up by saying, hey, John, listen, other than a natural disaster, are you confident that you'll be able to make our appointment this afternoon or tomorrow? You may laugh, but guess what? How many times have you spoke to a customer about them coming in, having an appointment, and they didn't show? And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to confirm it with you. Other than a natural disaster, are you confident that you're going to make our appointment? And guess what I'll get out of them again? Yes. And if they're not confident, guess what? This is an excellent opportunity for them to be able to tell me something else that's going on. So when you call in, hey, I speak to John. Hey, John, this is Brian. And John, I'm looking for a little bit of help. John, some information came across my desk that a John Williams was looking for information on a 2019 Toyota Camry. I just want to make sure I'm speaking to the right person. Are you John Williams, John Mathis? Yes, yeah, awesome. Well, John, again, I'm Brian, and the only reason for my call is to make sure that any questions you may have or any information that you're looking for, I can get that for you. What questions or what pieces of information can I help you with, John? And this is where you want to go into your spiel, asking them what they're looking for, blah, 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 how long they've been looking, whatever your typical short qualifying process is. The next thing we want to do is to set the appointment. And we do that by saying, John, listen, based on the information you share with me, I believe we have exactly what you're looking for. Now, if you're like most people, they like to put their eyes on it and put their hands on it. So I have an available time this afternoon at 2 or one tomorrow morning at 12. Which one of these work best for you to come on in? Tomorrow at 12. Awesome. Do me this favor, John. Grab a pen and a piece of paper. I want you to write this down. Okay. And then you verbally give them the address. Doesn't matter if they've been there 50 times. Doesn't matter if they're online. What you're doing is getting them to write out the address. They've heard it, they'll see it, and now they write it. The likelihood of it sticking and retaining goes way up because you're using all three avenues of retaining information. Some are visual, some are auditory, others are hands-on. So by them writing it, that's hands-on. And never be afraid to ask them, other than a natural disaster, are you confident that you'll make our appointment? Okay? And let them confirm it up with you. So when you're making your phone calls, don't be afraid. Matter of fact, you should expect and hope somebody answers. And if you've never been given the word tracks or the things to say on the phone, I highly encourage you, like I was stating at the beginning of the video, because some people like to get in and get out, and that's one to make sure you all knew. That program for $997 that have been selling for the last year or so, due to a single mother giving me a call and letting me know how bad she wanted to get involved, and she just didn't have those type of resources. I got with my team and I said, what's the best thing we can do next to just giving it away for free like I do with so much other information? They said, Brian, you can reduce it to this. So for $65 up until August the 2nd at midnight, the program, everything all inclusive, including the Monday at 7:30 conference calls with myself and other top producing individuals, is available to you. And ladies and gentlemen, if you believe that $65 that you invest one time that you can enjoy for the rest of your life is too much for your future, think about your families if you have one. There's one segment in there that's the 100 success tips, 10 videos. Imagine letting your children listen to that. You listening to it with your spouse in the car as y'all getting ready to go to your place of business. They're getting ready to go to school. Imagine while you're riding into the dealership, you're listening to steps on the sales process, the psychology of selling. You're learning how to go about implementing certain techniques. You're learning how to drive the people from your Facebook. And if you want to know if my social media marketing methods work, guess what? You're here right now. I have thousands and thousands of subscribers on all platforms. And guess what? Any of my ads, you wouldn't even know that they're me, because that's the skill and the art of it all. I utilize Facebook to drive thousands of people to my sites. And how do you think these dealerships find me and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars with me every year? But accessible to you, pick my brain. If I haven't been to your dealership to train, guess what? You have access to everything. And I'm looking at the chat. B Fleet. Now, if you're going to come on here and you're going to do that, let's tell what really happened, okay? And your information was emailed directly to the email address that you had within the PayPal. So I advise you go in and you check your email, because what you're doing right now, what I'll do is I'll blast it out on the internet that you were sent it. And, you know, so if you have an issue, send me an email, because there are other people on here. It's an immediate download. The moment you go to PayPal and purchase, it immediately redirects you to the download page. So there's nothing to be mailed. There is nothing to be sent. Anybody on here, click the link in the description, go on over and check it out. You know what I'm saying? See, now, please look at the chat, everybody. He's got it. And he just said his bad. Not trying to call. I feel you, Brandon. But that freaks people out if they believe that they don't get it. And I'm glad you finally saw that you did get it. I would never, but that's okay. I sent it to you even though your payment was still pending. You know why? Because this is about helping people. Now, the average company would have said they're not going to send you anything. But I checked out your page. I saw you reached out to me, and you really looking to make some moves. So what better thing can I do than to go ahead and give you the information, even though my company hadn't gotten any money for it? But that's just what I'm willing to do. Okay. And so if you think these videos are something, click that link in the description and go check it out. For $65, you get access to programs that people have invested thousands of dollars in, that I literally use and help train people with now. And it's at your fingertips. You may say, why, Brian? Because I know there's a lot of really good people who are working to make money at their store. And they're willing to invest a little bit that they have so they can make a whole lot more short-term pain for long-term gain. So make sure that you click that link in the description. Thank you, Brandon, for clearing that up so everybody sees. So Reckless_Civic, he received his information. It was in his, it was there available to him, because his payment didn't go through. And so I had my team manually send it, even though we hadn't been paid, because he's a young brother trying to improve his quality of life. There's not one negative complaint about me online. There's not one negative thing on Google about any of the products that anyone's ever downloaded. And as a matter of fact, check the comments of the other videos, and you'll see the impact that it's having on people. And even outside of that, regardless of other people, we spend too much time worrying about what it did for this person, what it did for that person. What will it do for you? I'm a real person that came from the bottom and is rising his way and is still rising his way to the top using the exact same things I'm sharing with you. So make sure you click that link in the description. Go on over, check it out. And I'd like to see you on those Monday evening conference calls. I want to get those questions. I want you to tell me that your target is 20, and we can put these methods into place to help you not just hit that 20, but exceed it. It's possible out here. What other industry with just a GED can you make $80,000, $90,000, $100,000? And I just did an interview this morning. I was asked to be on a podcast, and I'm going to be in it's the Kings of Closers. It's like the Kings of Comedy. And I was asked by an organization, it's coming out in January, where we're going to be traveling around, and they're bringing out the best people in our industry. And I feel so blessed and grateful that they regarded me as one of the leading young lions in our industry that's really helping change lives. And so you want me to come to Arlington, Texas, would definitely benefit from your service. Now, hey, Reckless_Civic would always tell people, put a general manager, get him my information, and I'll make it happen. But more than anything else, y'all, the issue that people have is they'll look at the next person and they'll base their possible experiences on theirs. You don't want to do that. There is living proof people who are in a situation where their money was low. They didn't know how they was going to pay their bills. They didn't know what they were going to do for the next month. But you know what they did? They realized if they kept going in the direction that they were going, shit was never going to get better. Sometimes you have to be willing to take that leap of faith, because how can we ever expect the benefits of life to fall upon us if we never willing to step out there. Hell, even a mother bird throws her baby bird out of the nest so it can be forced to fly or die. And at the end of the day, that's kind of how society is. You either learn on your own to get where you want to go, or you wither by the wayside and you die. And I love you and everybody out here too much. I'm living proof of just how you can be ignorant, lazy, and not know what the hell is going on. But with the right information, with the right guidance, with the right mentoring, you could really catapult yourself to new heights. And so make sure that you click that link in the description. If it's for nothing else, then to go check it out, because I will tell you, if somebody would have told you, hey, listen, give me $65 and I'll give you $100,000, would you do it? Well, guess what? I'm sharing with you, invest $65 and you'll learn how you can make $100,000, not just 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And if you have a spouse, how much better would it be for your household if your spouse also listened to this? One, for them to understand what you go through. Two, what if it helps them increase their skill set, where they can get that better position, where they can make more money? Imagine both being power players in the same household with just one investment. If you have children, you know our children are coming up in a society where nobody wants to read. Everybody wants everything 5 minutes ago. You have more people that are living in houses with other families because they can't afford to provide for themselves. I see more people that are over 70 years old working 1 and 2 jobs, not because they love it, because they don't have a choice, y'all. As a matter of fact, I met a gentleman by the name of John Graves, who was 82 years old. And I said, John, what's some information you could share with a young guy like me? He said, Brian, if I could go back, I would have took more risk. He was in the military. He worked for the same manufacturing company for 35 years. And 6 months before his retirement, they fired him. And he and his wife are on Medicaid or Medicare, whichever one it is for elderly people. And she's allergic to the medication that Medicare provides them. And so, and they can't afford to buy the stuff she needs because they're only living on $1,300 a month. And he said he would have took more risk, because if he would have took, if he'd have took risk and nothing would have worked, guess what? He'd be in the same situation that he's in right now. But if he would have took risk and one thing would have worked, he wouldn't have to sit there and watch his wife die because he's unable to afford providing for him. You see, the number one killer of progress and success is not fear, it's comfort. Well, everything is okay right now. I got a little bit of money right now. Everything is always okay until it's not. And if you're waiting until it's not okay, guess what? It's too late. And so you may be somebody that says, oh man, I don't spend any money. Oh man, I'm not investing in that. Oh man, I'm not. Oh man, I'm not. You know what? When we have that type of mentality, we have zero right to complain when life comes in with that stick and commits to whooping that ass, because it's going to happen. Because it's not the skill of the man, it's the will of the man that leads them to the finish line. And what makes me any different than the next person? They may be far more intelligent, they may be far more skills, but I have an internal confidence built in because I know I'll put in the work. I know I've trained. I know I've honed my skills. So when we step up to the plate, my confidence alone will blow them out of the water, not to mention the skills that have been developed through learning. How did you learn how to walk? Through constant practice. How did we teach our children how to talk? Through constant practice and repetition. That's exactly how you become successful. There is a true formula for success, and it's when preparation and opportunity meet, that equals success. So if you believe that by our own whims, by our own way of thinking, that this is what's going to get us to the next level, it's not. Because if it could, it would have already gotten us there. And so when I meet people that are more willing to invest $10 and $15 a month in Netflix, but won't invest $25, $50, $65, $100 in themselves, but they'll pay Netflix, who won't give them shit back. But ask them to invest in themselves, they don't have it. But they'll go out to lunch every day, spend $10, $12 on lunch every day. They'll walk into the dealership with that breakfast every day, knowing that they're living off a draw check. But every day they're going out to eat for breakfast and lunch, but complaining about not making any money. Well, right now, at the click of a button, all you have to do is click that doggone link over there, go over, and for $65, that's it. You get a $1,000 program for $65. And guess what? The word tracks. Even what we just spoke about in prospecting, it's in there. How to deal with I want to think about it, it's in there. How to overcome the shop around objection, it's in there. How to overcome the price objection, it's in there. How do I use Facebook to drive people to me that's looking to buy? That's in there. How do I stay positive and motivated when my managers are assholes? That's in there. How do I use Instagram, Snapchat? That's in there. How do I get on YouTube and explode my channel to become the authority on my particular brand and have people wanting to buy from me? That's in there. Also, how can I get someone that'll work with me on a regular basis to help me improve my skills? That's in there, because you don't just get all of those materials, you get me with it. And it's a simple download to your computer or to your phone, listen to it to your Bluetooth while you're waiting on your next up, while you're riding home at night, while you're brushing your teeth in the morning. Imagine what it'll do for your household when everybody is on the same vibration. Everybody is motivated. Everybody is positive. Everybody believes in possibility. Imagine what that'll do for you. I'm here to tell you that makes for a much more pleasant household. And imagine how your family looks at you, whether you're a man or a woman, that you were the one that was willing to plant your flag and put your doggone money where your mouth is. Because if we're not willing to invest in ourselves, how can we ever expect somebody would be willing to invest in us for a business, invest in us and buy a vehicle, invest in us for a relationship? And there's a quote in one of the most popular books ever known. It's called the Bible. And it said it's better to give than to receive. And that is not just a bumper sticker, y'all. It's not. When you give of your time, when you give of your resources, when you give of your love, it gives you back. So imagine, for that small investment you make today, the ball gets yearning. And that power that have watched you and protected you your whole life isn't just going to leave you by the wayside. As a matter of fact, the fact that you jumped out there and you're making a decision on faith and belief in yourself and in your future, watch how the doors open up and watch what will happen for you. But it's simply just a click, all right? And so click that link in the description, go over and check it out. And if I seem adamant about it, I am, because I see good men and women every day that are struggling just to make money to take care of their family, when in reality, the game is chess, not checkers. And it's much easier than what we think. And Sir Isaac Newton said it best: if I see further than others, it's because I stood on the shoulders of giants. And there's an old African proverb that says only a fool will learn from their own experiences. I prefer to learn from the experience of others. So take my 20 years of trial and error. Take my 20 years of investing thousands of dollars into my skill set. Take my years of selling 30 units a month at the floor. Take my years of traveling all around the United States, training men and women to make $100,000 a year, to make $70,000 a year. I got people that are 20 and 21 making more money than their parents. And I've got older folks in their 60s or 70s that are making $6,000, $7,000 a month. It's possible. But the one thing they all have in common, they made a choice. They said, my future is far more important than my Netflix. My future is far more important than me going out to eat every day this week. Maybe I need to bring me some sandwiches. Maybe I'll pack some leftovers, because it's only one investment, one, which comes out to something. If we talk about a 30-day period, we're talking about something like $2 a day that you invest to get information that'll give you back for the rest of your life. And not only information, you get me with it. Okay. I make my money traveling around working with these dealer groups. These things that I give away and do this, one, it's fun for me because I love getting that message from somebody when the light goes on. And then I know I can only be so many places at one time. And so there's a strong probability I might not ever be at your dealership. But guess what? You get a chance to have me at your dealership just by clicking the link and going over and just getting started. Okay. Make sure. All right. Make sure that you do that. Hey, Pete, shoot me an email, Pete. And I get you taken care of. Because matter of fact, I saw your information. Okay. Yeah, because it's just a redirect page right after. And if somebody isn't paying attention, once you download and once you pay, it redirects you to the download page. So be prepared. It'll redirect you to the download page for you to download everything. But Pete, shoot me a message. As a matter of fact, let me put my email up here. And just shoot me a message. And I get you taken care of, brother. But other than that, folks, click the link in the description, go on over, check it out. But other than that, what questions y'all got before I get up out of here? Let's have some fun. Hit me with some questions that y'all got going on. But if you haven't been getting any training, you want to know the road to the sale, not just the steps, but the psychology behind it. If you want to know, how you can help close more deals, how to prospect better, how to do all of these things, make sure that you just jump right on it, okay? Make sure that you jump right on it. Make sure that you jump right on it. Click the link in the description and let's get started. Other than that, shoot me a message. What y'all got? Thanks again, Brandon. Hey, man, my pleasure, brother. You're looking it over right now. And Brandon, any questions that you have, shoot me a message. That's what I'm here for. And Pete, shoot me an email, okay? And I'll make sure that I get everything over there to you. But other than that, y'all, click the link in the description. As you can see, we got people that have already been going on, downloading it while we've been talking right now. Why? Because they know it works. And when's the next time you're going to get access to $1,000 worth of information for pennies on the dollar? That's literally what, a 94% discount. Man, you know, if I could give it away, I would. My accountant would go crazy. But at the end of the day, get started. Make the decision. Let's work together. It is possible for you to make $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year doing this. But it will require effort on your part. And you don't need to be in front of 30, 40 people a day. You don't need to be at the dealership that's just doing 800, 900 units a month. As a matter of fact, it's not even the quantity, it's the quality. And guess what else? The national closing average, if you go out and you take lot ups, is about 25%. But when you have people coming in asking for you, guess what? That goes up to 60%. And so if you leverage the Facebook leads portion alone, guess what? You have a 60% chance, 6 out of 10 people doing business and buying from you. What will that do for your bank account? Do you think your managers will care if you need to take a day off or leave a little bit early? You selling 17, 20 units a month. You pulling in $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month. How will your family look at you? You pulling in $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month. How will you look at you? What type of clothes will you wear? What type of foods would you go out to eat? What type of vacations would you go on? These are the type of ways you have to think, because if you believe it and you see it, you can achieve it. I'm living proof. And you know what? You all are probably far more intelligent than I am. But the difference is this: for you to outdo me, you have to be willing to die, because I've been at the bottom. I know what it's like to be broke and be evicted and not know where the hell your next dollar is coming from. I've been there and I'm never going back. So if that's listening to 1,000 hours of audio, I'll do it. Listening to 1,000 hours, watching 1,000 hours of video, I'll do it. Reading 1,000 books, I'll do it. I'll do everything within my power, legally, ethically, and morally, to not just survive, but to thrive. And that same information I'm sharing with you, the same things I'm telling you, this is what's taken every man and woman who started off at a certain lower level that has catapulted themselves to success. It was their willingness to invest in themselves. So you're not paying my company, you're not paying me, you're investing in you. It's no different when a person goes out and they buy a vehicle. That's an investment. That's an investment, because if it can get you from point A to B safely, and everybody in your household gets home safely, and everybody's alive, that's a priceless investment. And the same thing with this information. It doesn't matter whether you stay at your dealership or go to another one. It doesn't matter if you're looking to go into real estate. It doesn't matter if you get into a new relationship. The fundamentals within this program will help you in every aspect of your everyday life. And so if you're looking to double and triple up your income, if you're looking to double up and triple up your happiness, if you're looking to double up and triple up your confidence, click that link in the description. Go over and get started, okay? Let us get started working together. But what questions we got? What questions we got? Come on now, give me something. Give me something. What we got? What we working with? Okay, what we working with? All right. So, hey, and I thank you. Hey, what's up? What's up, Bert? Hey, how you doing, Mr. Bill? You good? Yeah, he's another member. He's a part of the community. How's the programs been working out for you? You've been checking them out and going through them, using them at your store? Yeah, I did get it, Pete. The email came through. So as soon as I get done on the live stream, I'll go ahead and make sure my team checks your stuff. Mr. Bill, program's been the information been helping you out, been able to make some moves out there at your store. I love the success stories, but I want to get yours. And so make sure, as you download the program, when you close your first deal after getting it, I'm pretty sure you've been closing deals, but your first one after getting it, and you use some minutes, share it. I want to share your story and be on the lookout. Yes, sir, the program is great. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And so, folks, we got real live people from all over the world, from New Zealand to Australia to the United States, who were just like you, who made a decision, they clicked the link, and they got started. So what is it going to take for you to do the same? What is it going to take for you to do the same? Hey, no doubt, Pete, it's my pleasure. And you know, another thing, when people call my line, sometimes they're blown back that they'll get me on the phone sometime. And I say, folks, check this out. Do you know what an extraordinary person is? An extraordinary person is just an ordinary person that did a little bit extra. That's it. All of these so-called gurus and mega millionaire people, number one, it ain't as many of them as millionaires as you may think. You know, everybody on Instagram fronting. But one thing I always tell people that you can tell the real, when I post my videos, I show myself out and about at different stores, training and working with people, not just sitting in one room with the same backdrop. You see me all over the country. So you know these folks are paying me to be there. And if you've been watching my videos, real recognize real, and you can feel the energy that comes through. You can feel it in your gut, because if it would have been bullshit, you would have clicked off and you never come back. But the fact that I can see by some of the name that you've been following me for years, because you know that it makes sense, and it's something inside you that says, this is the right way. So treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. Click that link in the description, go over and get started. But other than that, y'all, I got to get up out of here. Got a lot going on. Pete, I'm going to go ahead and check on that email right now. Again, I'm going to post the link one more time. Make sure that you go on over, check it out, get started. Monday at 7:30 is our next private coaching session. I'm putting it in here, the Ultimate Online Automotive Sales Training Program. Because there's a lot. Oh, another thing, let me let you guys know. If you are downloading it on your phone, the files are in zip files, compressed, because there's so many audio and so many video files, you have to compress them, right? So make sure you have good memory space on your phone, or you can download them to your laptop and upload them back up. So they do download to the phone, but once you make your investment, it's going to redirect you to the download page immediately. That's where you go and you download. And yes, you can upload them. You can listen to them through Bluetooth, all of that good stuff. They were all created, the audios and the videos, in an MP4 format, so they can be watched and listened to. And all of the training manuals, oh, the over 40 word tracks on prospecting, sending emails, overcoming objections, the talk outs on when you greet somebody, even the discovery questions. Most dealerships use that whack info sheet, which keeps it all about the vehicle. And you say, how the hell am I going to get personal with this person? What questions do I ask? Within that manual is everything you need. Even when you do the walk around, the appropriate place to start. When you come back off the demo drive, how to do the service tour. Folks, everything from A to Z. So never again do you have to worry about a manager stepping in to teach you or train you anything. You have it right there at your fingertips. And once you have skin in the game because you invested in it, the likelihood of you following it and embracing it goes way up. That's the only reason I don't give it away for free. Because if I'm taking time out of my busy schedule to kick it and interact and be working and coaching every Monday at 7:30, I want to make sure that I'm dealing with like-minded people that are go-getters and driven like I am. You see, if I know that to do better for my family, all I have to do is invest in this, that, and the other, and I know that my investment will generate me tremendous return, what type of man would I be? What type of father, what type of spouse would I be if I was unwilling to do it? How can I tell my family I had an opportunity to make our lives better, but because I wanted to watch Netflix and go out to eat lunch every day, I was unwilling to take advantage of it? Hell no. And people like Pete, people like Mr. Bill, people like Brandon Fleet, and the hundreds of others that said, you know what? I listened to it. I see it. I know it's real. I want it. I commend you because we cut from the same cloth. I've been there. And I assure you, if you just continue onward, listen to the audio, read the information, and there's going to be a lot more that I got coming, because those of you that are involved in the program, we have a serious announcement coming out within the next 3 or 4 days with myself and my partner, Ariel Rowland. So y'all will be seeing a lot of Ariel coming up here in the near future. So don't be freaked out when you see this very nice looking lady that'll be with me when I'm talking on a lot of videos. She travels with me now, but she's just been really behind the scenes. And now is her coming out party. So we got some major announcements coming up in the next few days. But the most important one I want to leave you with today is the definition of insanity. Is doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. To have the things that you never had, you got to do the things that you've never done. And yeah, what seems like a cost or an expense is really an investment. What have you gotten back from Netflix? As a matter of fact, the cell phones, I see people that have iPhone 10s and don't even have their own place. They live at home with parents or with friends, but they got that new state-of-the-art $1,200 phone. And in 6 months, guess what? A newer one is coming out. Or I see people that got on the flyest new clothes, but yet living at home or struggling financially, got on the best clothes, but haven't rewired their programming to help them go attain bigger and better things. So available, click that link in the description, go on over, take advantage of the program, which, as many of you know, sells for $997 online, is available for $65 up until 12 midnight, August the 2nd. And you will realize when you see these videos will be yanked down how serious it was or how serious it is. So don't miss out on it. I have people that tell me they missed out the last time I did a surprise giveaway. And don't miss out on this one, okay? But other than that, hey, clients came, settled on numbers. Client claimed their payroll receipt was deleted. I haven't called back, suggestions on what to say. So the clients came in, settled on numbers. Client claimed their payroll receipt was deleted. I haven't called back. So you got somebody that came in that's saying that they can't get their paycheck stub, and they settled on the numbers. Now, when you say settled on the numbers, Pete, does that mean that they like the numbers that you provided? And now that everything was moving forward, you needed for them to verify employment with their paycheck stubs? Help me understand that a little bit, and I'll give you some words on what you can say to help them out. While we're waiting on Pete to give us that information, if anybody else had an issue with a customer or a situation or something to help out with, share it, man. That's what I'm here for. You know, especially when you have me on live and I'm rocking, rolling, I'm feeling good, man. I love this stuff. Selling is my life. As a matter of fact, let me explain something to you. When I ask people how many years of sales experience they have, and they'll say 5, 10, 3, or 1, it shows me this person has no idea what's going on. And let me explain what I mean. Folks, we can't escape sales. You're born into it. Since you were born, I was born, my mother, your mother, our parents, every single person that's been blessed on this planet, we're born into sales, and I'll prove it to you. When a baby cries, it's crying to be picked up, be fed, have a diaper change. That's a sales call. Any relationship you've ever been in, you weren't the only person that thought they were attractive. You were one of many. But when you presented yourself, you sold yourself in a way that this individual said, you know, I want to be in a relationship with him and her or her. I'd like to have children with them and build a life with them. Any previous places of employment, you weren't the only candidate. You were one of hundreds, if not thousands. But yet, during your interview process, you presented and sold your skills in a way that they felt they get the highest rate of return on their investment with you. Do you know that even sitting in a room by yourself doing nothing, saying, man, I'm just going to chill and play some video games, you have sold yourself that it's better to sit there and chill and do nothing than to get up, get out and do something. And so sales is something we can't escape. But the reason why the gap between the haves and the have-nots is so wide, because very few people realize that we're in this game and we can't escape it. And so if a person was going to have a cookout this weekend, they would know what time it started, what's on the menu, who they want to come, what type of drinks they have. If a person was going out of town, they know where they were going, what hotel they want to stay at, what highways they need to take, and how long it may take to get them there. But ask somebody about the next 6 months of their life, the next year of their life, the next 5 years of their life. What's the direction? What's the roadmap? What's the plan? They don't have one. So we plan more and much better for cookouts and for a vacation than we do our lives. And little do we realize that we can enjoy more vacations when we take our time to do what we got to do and structure our own lives. And so what this information does, it helps you create a foundation. It's like the Chinese bamboo tree. When you bury that Chinese bamboo tree in the ground, it takes 5 years before it busts through the dirt, and then it grows 90 feet in 2 months. 5 years before it busts through the dirt. So imagine an impatient person who planted that seed and wanted to see that tree in a year. It'll never happen. They planted that seed and wanted to see the tree in 3 years. It'll never happen. They planted that seed and they wanted to see that tree in 4 years, 11 months, and 20 days. It'll never happen. But if they just stay patient, and if they realize and allow their imagination and their view of what that tree will look like outweigh their immediate desire for instant gratification, at the end of that 5 years, over the next 2 months, the neighborhood will be beautified with a 90-foot tall tree. Now, why does it take 5 years before it breaches the ground and grows 90 feet? Because it has to spread out its roots to create a strong enough foundation so that when those strong winds and those storms come through, that they can withstand the storm. And that's what this is like with us. What do they call us when our mother gets pregnant with us? We're the seed. We're our father's seed, right? And so we're born, and then we come out, and as we go through life, we have to continue to water our mind. We have to continue to shine that positive light on our mind. We have to continue to grow and develop, grow and develop, grow and develop. And if we stay persistent enough, eventually, we'll be able to peak our heads up above the crowd and be able to have a much better view than others. But if we're impatient and we're unwilling to put in the work, we're unwilling to do what needs to be done, we're unwilling to fill our mental Rolodex up with the tools to be successful, we will fall by the wayside. Many people believe they're going to slick their way to success or free their way to success, meaning they believe they'll watch every free video, go to every free event, free this, free that, free this. And let me tell you, as a businessman that's in the know, free information is good, but great information is never free. Free information will give you just enough to kind of wet your whistle and give you somewhat of an understanding, but it'll never be enough to take you to the next level. If it was, we'd have a lot more people that are there. YouTube is an awesome tool for information and resources, and whether you agree with what I'm saying or if I'm not your cup of tea, that's fine. But there are awesome people out there that have information that will change your life if you let it. So ask yourself, what's more important, your Netflix subscription or your future? What's more important, you going out to eat every day or you and your family's future? What's more important, your peace of mind and your sanity, or putting on a show for your team members that you balling out of control when you're really not? You and I both know what's going on. So click that link and get started. So Peasy says, so they couldn't do the credit app because they didn't have the payroll check. That just made the most sense. Thank you, Reckless Civic. Been in sales, I'm like mind blowing. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. So Pete, so they couldn't complete the credit application. So you got them in, y'all did everything, credit app. Now, let me ask you this, Pete, and you may have done it. As far as when you initially sit a person out, this is why the initial qualifying portion, it is so important. When a person sits down with a customer and within 10 minutes, they're already at the desk trying to get numbers or trying to put them on a vehicle, that's insane. Because you got to think about this. You're a stranger. And even the most polite person that comes into a dealership, they don't trust you. Now, they're polite, they're pleasant, and that's cool and all, but they don't trust you. They're not going to come in and just open it up, telling you everything that's really going on. Why? Because they're afraid that you'll use it against them. But the fact that you're on this video right now lets me know you're not that type of person. You're cut from a different cloth. You just want to find out what's going on so you can better help this person, right? And so what we have to do is we have to remove that piece of plastic or metal initially from our conversation, because that piece of plastic or metal, meaning that vehicle, is an inanimate object that without human interaction does absolutely nothing. It has no credit, it has no money, and it makes no decision. The people do. So we're not in the vehicle business, in the automotive business, we're in the people business. So when you sit these folks down, instead of getting on that CRM and typing and having them look at the back of your computer screen, move that screen out the way, pull out a piece of paper and a pen, and you ask them, hey folks, do y'all mind if I take some notes? I just want to make sure I get everything you share with me accurate because it's extremely important. And then you begin to ask questions about them. So folks, let me ask you guys, are you looking for something for business or for personal use? Oh, it's for personal use? Okay, so it's going to be your daily driver? Oh, to and from your place of business? Awesome. What type of work do you do? So as you see, when I ask them, is it for business or personal use? They say personal. Okay, so this is your daily driver? Yeah, so you use it to get to and from your place of business. Yeah, guess what that leads into? What type of work do you do? These are layered questions. So when I say, hey, what type of work do you do? All construction? Really? That's awesome. Let me ask you, man, how long you been doing that? A few years. Now, let me, please help me understand. Were you one of those little guys that used to be, or ladies that used to be putting stuff together and building all types of sand castles and stuff when you were a kid and always wanted to be into building things, or did you just fall into it as you grew and became an adult? And whichever way they go, all fell into it. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. What did you do prior? Now, granted, we're being conversational, but I'm also building a profile. I'm finding out what they do, how long they've been doing that, and what they did before. Now, I may not have the specifics at that time about how much they're making an hour, what the name of the company is, but I'm getting a general idea of what's going on. And that's through layered questions. Let's just say if I say, hey, are you looking for something for business or personal use? And they said business, I can immediately go right into it. That's awesome. What type of work do you do? Okay. Now, are you looking for something that's new or pre-owned? Never used. Think about it. Used has a very negative connotation to it. It's always pre-owned. It sounds so much better. Are you looking for something that's new or pre-owned? You looking for something new? Awesome. Are you looking for something that's a light, medium, or dark color? Light color, cool. Now let me ask you this, man. Is it going to be just you driving in it, or you have some other special people that typically take rides with you? Some extra special people. Any of them going to be driving it with you? Really? Okay. And who is that? Such and such, wife. Awesome. What's your wife's name? Now, if you notice, even when I want to find out if there's going to be another decision maker or co-signer, the way I went around at it, just saying, hey, listen, are there going to be other people that are going to be riding in the vehicle with you, or is it just going to be you? There's going to be other people. Awesome. And who are they? Wife of my kids. Really, your wife? What's your wife's name? Such and such. And you got kids, man? You got boys, girls? 2 boys and a girl. Awesome. What's their ages? This, that, and the other. Now, let me ask you, is one of the boys a namesake or a junior? But these are the type of ways that you have communications with people, okay? Now, as you're going through, to get back to what people are saying, sometimes the longer we take up front with the establishing rapport part, a lot of times we can find out that, hey, this person may have been to 2 or 3 places, filled out the credit application, and it dropped their score and they're terrified. Or their credit may be so bad that they don't want to be embarrassed, where instead of looking at a new vehicle, we should have started off on something that was pre-owned. But we don't know until we know. So if a person is greeting a customer on the lot and starting off showing them vehicles before bringing them in and sitting them down, that is a big issue, because you'll find yourself running into situations where you wasted time focusing on one thing when it was a whole nother direction. Mind blowing. I did all that, Brian. I've seen your prior videos. I wrote out the one and stuff on the back of the page. She was very interested. He just sat back, not participating. Do you know why he did that? Now, you should expect that from a guy. Do you really believe a man is going to let this male salesperson see that he's excited? Absolutely not. But when you have a gentleman or a lady who's like that, where they're kind of sitting back, they're reserved, they're not saying much, with them, what you want to learn to do is stroke their ego. Whenever you're sharing new information, you might flip that paper and say, all right, now, Sue and Jack, you all also get a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty. Now, Jack, you may already be aware of what this is, I'm pretty sure. And Sue, you too, but go into it. So now what I'm doing is I'm assuming you're very intelligent and knowledgeable. You probably already know this, but I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't. See, when you feed the ego of that person that wants to just sit back, they become more engaged. Why? Because we all like people that like us. And if they're in front of their spouse and I can make them seem more intelligent, make them seem more empowered, guess what? They like me even more. But if I'm acting like the know-it-all and I'm giving all this information and I got her, she's excited. But the more excited she gets, the more unexcited he'll get. Why? Because he says, oh, here we go. Here goes this whole selling crap. But if I can get him to become my biggest fan, why? By stroking that ego and not doing it in a fake way, but being genuine. I'm going to assume that this man is, or this woman is very knowledgeable, whoever the person is that standoffish. Assume that they're knowledgeable rather than assuming they're unknowledgeable. And before you get ready to share information, always cater to them and say, you know what? I'm sure you probably already know this. You too. Don't just cater to them and ignore the other person, but always start it off with them. You know what? You seem extremely knowledgeable and you're probably aware of this, and you probably are too. Always give credit first off to the one that's the most standoffish, and also acknowledge the other person who's been more willing to communicate. Because the more you stroke that ego, the more knowledgeable you tell them they are. One, you give them an out. That way, even if they didn't know, you're still sharing it with them, but you believe that they already knew it, so they're still protected. Number 2, people like people who like them. Okay. And our goal is to take that person that's reserved, sitting back like this, and to turn them more into a communicator. Now, when somebody's sitting with their arms folded like this, you should know body language. That means that they're closed off. Now, in order for a person's arms to be closed and to be closed off, they had to mentally close off. In order to get them to open their arms up, we have to get them to open their minds up. Now, how do we do that? If you're sitting in with somebody and they're doing like this, always find a reason or something that you can hand this person to force them to open up to receive it. So if you're looking at a new particular vehicle, anytime you take a customer in your office and they're looking at something that's new, Always make sure you grab, if you have brochures and information available, grab one as you're walking back to the office, okay? As you're going to sit down with them. That way, during the process, if there ever comes that point where the person sitting back, say, hey, listen, you know what? Let me give this to you too, so that you can just have that and be able to look it over. In order for them to accept it, they have to open up. In order for them to open up, they have to mentally tell themselves, open up your arms, open up to receive this. And it's another way for me to give them something, okay? When the person's sitting like this, they're closed off and standoffish. You have to find a way to get them to open up. And in order for them to open up physically, they have to open up mentally first, okay? And so that person that was being stoic and reserved, I would have really wanted to find out what was going on with them. You have every right to stop and say, hey, John, let me ask you a question, because you probably are a reserved guy, but I'm pretty sure you're extremely knowledgeable too. Tell me, what do you feel about what I'm saying? Now, here's the mistake people make. A lot of times salespeople say, tell me what you think. Here's why that is a mistake. Because the mistake is this: we don't know if this person has a 6th grade education, 8th grade education, 12th grade education, or some college. So when you ask somebody, tell me what you think, we all have different crazy stuff going on in that mind of ours. And some people's ability to be able to conceptualize what's going on and then to articulate it is piss poor. But if you ask somebody, tell me how you feel, as human beings, we all have the exact same emotions. We may have them triggered at different times, but we have the same emotions. And at the end of the day, I'm a firm believer that majority of us all want the same thing: to be happy, to be healthy, to be wealthy, to have our family and loved ones around us and proud of us. We want to feel important, okay? We want to feel important. So when we're engaging with these folks and we have them at that store and that person wants to be closed off and quiet, we have to get them engaged. And you want to ask them, hey, how do you feel about don't ask them how they feel about what you've talked about up to this point. Ask them specifically, so how do you feel about this particular vehicle and the features, John? I want to know your feeling. You know why? Because people buy 90% based off emotion, feeling, and back it up with 10% logic. So be cautious when you ask somebody, tell me what you think, or what do you think about this? I don't want to know what you think. I want to know how you feel. Because a feeling response is far more honest than a thinking response, okay? So Pete said, I should have brought him into the discussion, like, Pierce, would you like to see this too? Exactly. You have to make sure if somebody is not participating, you have to do everything you can to get them involved, because that one little part that they didn't pay attention to could be that one thing that'll motivate them to want to make a decision. Yes, I see that. Ask them what you feel. Yeah, hopefully everybody on here is getting what I'm saying about feeling, and not just at your dealership. Do it in your everyday life. Ask your spouse how they feel about something rather than what they think. Ask your children how they feel about something rather than what they think. Watch the answers. They're a lot more heartfelt and honest than they are when what you think about something. And folks, again, if you on here, man, and you're listening and what I'm sharing makes sense, if this makes sense, imagine what information I have loaded within these programs. It will blow your mind. So click the link in the description or in the chat. Log over here, or I'm gonna have it posted in the comments section once we get done. Okay, thank you, Regular Civic. I appreciate it. Folks, we coming up on an hour. I know y'all got a lot going on. I got a lot going on, but click that link in the description. And Pete, I'm gonna go on over to the email right now, get you taken care of. Brandon Fleet, I'm glad everything is going good with you. Regular Civic, I'm waiting to see you. Now that you've seen there's other people who have downloaded and got it, there's no excuses for us to get working together. And if you vibe and you feel what I'm saying, you know, no need to put it off. There's no such thing as someday on a calendar or a perfect day. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And even on the watch, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But there is no slot for a perfect time. The only perfect time and the perfect day is the one that we make. And what better one than the one that we in right now? This moment, this is all we have. Even 5 years in the future, if I'm sitting down, it'll still be right now, okay? There's only right now. Clocks and calendars were created by man to help us measure time, but in reality, there is only right now. So treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. Click the link in the description, go over, at least check it out. Because you have no idea when the next time you'll have the information that can change you and your family's life right at your fingertips at the click of a button. All right. But other than that, y'all, appreciate y'all spending an hour with me this morning. I'm Brian Maxwell. And as always, I look forward to seeing you at the dealership. Hopefully I can make it to your dealership. But if not, Click that link in the description, go over and get started. You can bring me to your dealership and share it with your team members. Why not? Because the better everybody performs, the better it is for you. All right. Another question. Client walk up, been ducking my phone calls for a week, just texting me. Is X vehicle available? Says just don't respond. When you give them a holler, you give them a call, just reach out. John, hey, John, Brian. Hey, man, I really do appreciate you reaching out to me. I was just actually thinking about shooting you a text the other day. All right. And I know you had questions on XYZ vehicle. Okay. Now, of course, you want to have the information. You want to ask, what questions are you looking for? This, that, and the other, what have you. Okay. Awesome. Well, listen, man, most people just like you, they want to see it and put their hands on it when we get something like this in, because I will let you know, as you know, vehicles like this, it's not a guarantee it's going to be here later today or even tomorrow. So I have an available time this afternoon at 1, or 1 tomorrow morning, or 1 this evening at 6. Which one of those work best for you, so you can come on in, check it out, and I can get you all the information that you need so you can make your decision in the future. Now, you may say, why would I say to somebody, when can they come in so they can get all the information that they need, they can touch it and they feel it so they can make their decision in the future? You know why? Because when is the future? 1 second from now, 10 seconds from now, 30 seconds from now, 30 minutes from now. And so the words that we say, y'all, are so powerful. Imagine what that does for a customer when you say, listen, most people like you that are looking for a vehicle, they want to see it, put their hands on it, and get as much information as they can before they make any decisions. So I have an available time this afternoon at 1 and later on this evening at 6. Which one of those work best for you to be able to come on in, take a look at it, feel it, get whatever information that you need so that in the future, when you're ready, you got everything you need to make your decision. You know what that does for the customer when they hear you say you got all the information? So in the future, when you're ready, they say, oh my God, I don't have to be pressured to buy anything today or right now. You don't have to be pressured to buy anything right now. As a matter of fact, I am 100% guaranteed that you will be buying something in the future. You know why? Because the future is a second from now. It is 5 seconds from now. And when I say guaranteed they will be buying something, it could be buying gas, it could be buying a vehicle, it doesn't matter. It will all be done in the future. You know why? Because we're right now. Okay. But you want to learn how to use the words that will help someone feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more calm. It's just like when you greet somebody and you bring them into the dealership, it's, hey, welcome to ABC dealership. I'm Brian and you are Rick. Rick, awesome. Hey, Rick, you mind if I jot your name down, man? Because I want to make sure that I address you the right way and give you the utmost respect. Is that cool? Yeah, Rick, let me ask you, are you here to see anybody in particular? Or is this your first time to ABC dealership? First time. It's your first time? Awesome. Well, thank you again for coming. You made an awesome choice. And as you can see, we do have quite a selection. So which one of our vehicles would you like some information on? You know what? I'm not quite sure. I did see you all had a pre-owned truck on the internet. Awesome. Well, as you can see, we have quite a few options in our pre-owned selection. So let's do this. Follow me inside. I'm going to ask you a few quick questions and I'll get you all the information on a truck that you feel like you need. That way in the future, when you're ready, you got everything you need to make a decision. Okay. And that's on the greeting and bringing them in. All I did was greeted them, gave them my name, got theirs. I asked, could I write it down? So I'm not just writing something and they wondering what the hell I'm doing. Transparency is the best policy. And I gave them the reason why I want to write it down. I want to write your name down so I can address you and give you the utmost respect. Okay. Next thing you want to ask them, hey, are you here to see anybody in particular? Or is this your first time here? We don't want to step on anybody in BDC's toes or another sales rep toes. So is this your first time here? You're here to see somebody in particular? First time. Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for coming. You made an awesome choice. As you can see, we have quite a selection available. Which one of our vehicles would you like some information on? Not are you looking to buy today? None of that. Information. Well, you know what? I'm not quite sure. That's why I was stopping in. Awesome. Well, as you can see, like I said earlier, we have quite a selection. So let's do this. Follow me inside. I'm going to ask you a few questions and I'll get you all the information on whatever you feel works best. That way in the future, when you're ready, you got all the information you needed to make your decisions. Come on, let's go. So it doesn't matter if they know what vehicle. Yeah, I like this Toyota Camry. Awesome. Well, as you can see, and it's the new Toyota Camry. Awesome. As you can see, we got several options in the new Toyota Camry. Let's do this. Follow me inside. You know what? I'm not quite sure what I want, Brian. Awesome. Well, as you can see, we got quite. So let's do this. Follow me inside. I'm going to, or you know what? I saw this 2015 Tahoe on the internet. Awesome. Well, as you can see, we do have quite a pre-owned selection. So let's do this. Follow me inside It doesn't matter what they say. Right after that, it's always, you do have quite a selection. So follow you inside. All you're going to do is ask them a few questions and you get them all the information that they feel they need, so that way in the future, when they're ready, they get everything ready they need to make a decision. Remember, sales is psychological. It's a real art. It's a science, y'all. It's a science. There's no way you would have passed biology or chemistry without the science book or doing the experiments. Sales is the exact same way. It's impossible for you to be successful in sales without studying the information, without learning the tricks of the trade, without learning the word tracks, without learning the tools, and most importantly, without developing the mindset. Okay? It's a mindset. Thing is, they drove an SUV. We spent a lot of time together. At the time, after looking at the SUV, they started talking about other vehicles. Hey, thanks, my brother, for the information. Head to the. All right, Mr. Bill, I'll see you next time, brother. The SUV spent a lot of time together. Now, let me ask you spend a lot of time on the lot or a lot of time in the office? Because if you spend a lot of time on the lot, somewhere the cart got put in front of the horse. Okay. And if they started asking about other vehicles, again, that goes back during the qualifying period. There's nothing wrong with asking somebody if they know a specific vehicle that they're interested in. You should ask them, what do you feel it is about this vehicle? Or what is it about this vehicle that makes you feel like you like it so much? Or what is it about this vehicle that you like so much? Or what is it about this vehicle that makes you feel good about it? What is it about this vehicle that makes you feel like you want it? Get them to tell you. And let me ask you, do you feel like this is the only option for you? Or there's some other things that you kind of been throwing around in your mind? You want to ask these questions, and trust me, they will answer it because nobody else is asking. Do you know I've had salespeople tell me that when you're asking somebody about their kids' names and how they feel about this, they say, oh, that's too personal, and I don't want to get that personal. Are you insane? Anybody that's investing 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, $80,000 in a vehicle, they want you to ask those questions. They want you to get personal. Think about it. Would you give up $100 to somebody that didn't make themselves personal with you and talk to you and give you a good reason on why they should give you that 100? Would you? Absolutely not. So imagine 20, 30, 40,000 and personal information. See, we have to flip it. The same things that would turn you off, the same things that would keep you from making a buying decision will probably do it for them. It's like when you're buying a home. Do you know what type of personal information you have to give up so you can buy that house? Same thing with a vehicle. Don't be afraid to ask these people about their family. What's their kids' names? What's their ages? What type of cool things do they do? When's the last time they went on a vacation? Where did they go? Do they plan on using this vehicle for the vacation? Do their kids play sports? Yada, yada, yada. How long they've been married? What? People love to talk about themselves. And guess what? 9 out of 10 places they've been, never cared enough to even ask them. And see, this is it. I always held gross on my deals back then. You know why? Because I didn't put a time limit on how long I should be with this person. I was with this person having conversation before we even went to go look at a vehicle, all the way up until I felt they showed me that they were comfortable and were willing to really open up. Because if they're not willing to open up, why in the hell do I want to move to the next step? I'm the one that's going to be losing. And so it's just slowing down. The SUV fitted their disabled child. Wow. I seen they didn't want to commit. Yeah, man. And then they had a child that was disabled. So they had specific needs. And you know what? At the end of the day, I wish I could tell you that there's anything that's 100%, but it's not. And you have a lot of folks out here that are selling people dreams and delivering them nightmares. But in a situation like that, where there is a disabled child involved, I really would have spent, and you probably did this, but I would have spent a lot of time just talking about commending them on being parents that's willing to be there for their child. And also commending them and letting them know I've heard about how stressful and how tough it can be and what type of level of genuine love they must have for their baby to be willing to commit, and how, every decision they make, from vehicles to homes, have to be to cater to him. And so let's see what we can do to help make life easier on, and I would have used their son's name. Okay, these are the type of ways that I would have went about that. But there's a lot more to it. And Pete, everything you ask is going to be available in that program and information. So folks, I'm about to get out of here. Pete, I'm going to go jump on his email. Folks, click that link in the description if you haven't already. I know we've had some that have. They went over, already ordered, downloaded. I can see the different names that are popping up right here on my other computer screen. Other than that, folks, be prepared. Every Monday, 7:30, we'll be getting together. But click that link in the description, because for literally pennies on a dollar, you get a chance to have me at your dealership without me physically being there. All right. But this has been a fun time. Appreciate it. I love mixing it up with you guys. And, as always, I look forward to seeing you at the dealership. Brian Maxwell, over and out, folks.